The Implications of Trump's Far-Right Agenda, a Global and Domestic Perspective by PAG. Former President Donald Trump and his associates, particularly the proponents of the Project 2025 initiative, aim to significantly alter the United States government, society, and economy. This provides an in-depth examination of the implications for you and the international community. Supporters of Trump perceive institutions like schools and universities as breeding grounds for dissent and inefficiency, dismissing their participants as nothing more than a bunch of eggheads misusing resources. Project 2025, a strategic initiative from the right, aims to dismantle the Department of Education, the Environmental Protection Agency, and virtually all other governmental entities not explicitly enumerated in the Constitution, allowing the growth of right-wing propaganda institutions and right media to replace higher education, fostering ideologically aligned individuals while simultaneously relaxing public health regulations, such as vaccine mandates, and permitting hazardous substances in food products. They aim to diminish the federal government's power and scope to establish domains governed entirely by the wealthy. Mass deportations appear to be a major focus of Trump's platform, which would have far-reaching social and economic ramifications, including a tremendous labor shortage and spiking prices. Additionally, there is a substantial likelihood, estimated at 70%, that Trump will implement hefty import taxes, similar to Herbert Hoover's policies in the 1930s that precipitated the Great Depression. Herbert Hoover implemented tariffs to mitigate the recession initiated by Calvin Coolidge's policies a few years prior. He asserted that by imposing tariffs on foreign products, he would bolster the United States economy. He also blamed Mexicans for his policy failures and deported over 1 million of them, including many who were American citizens. The right wing appears to be following this template. The reduction of the federal budget is unlikely to happen. Budget cuts are outside the scope of a president's constitutional authority. Only Congress has the right to regulate federal spending, and it may choose to act or not act on recommendations from external authorities, meaning Elon and his Brown associate only hold advisory positions with little authority or power. Moreover, government employees across a variety of departments, including the DOJ and the IRS, cost taxpayers approximately $271 billion every year, accounting for roughly 4% of the overall government budget. The primary expenditures are Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the Department of Defense, and I doubt Congress will address these areas. While the United States focuses inward, global powers such as China and developing countries such as India may thrive on shifting economic landscapes. Chinese brands and technology, which are already gaining traction worldwide, may dominate markets as the United States withdraws from international cooperation. Aging populations and economic stagnation in Europe may make affordable Chinese goods even more enticing, hence expanding China's influence. India and Southeast Asia could emerge as industrial hubs, filling the void left by Western retrenchments and China's shifts to a consumption-driven economy. Despite its obstacles, Russia may pursue territorial goals, such as annexing the rest of Ukraine, while strengthening ties with countries such as China. Under Trump's presidency, the United States is being led by individuals who prioritize short-term populist measures over long-term planning. Attempts to restore American manufacturing without addressing structural issues risk destabilizing the economy. Radical policy shifts and limited government supervision may cause economic upheaval, with people possibly losing millions in banking scams. America's billionaires may find a recession or depression, particularly one of significant scale, to be advantageous. During a severe recession or depression, affluent individuals may gain from decreased asset values, whereas the middle class and elderly are likely to experience substantial financial insecurity. Nonetheless, a significant economic collapse may benefit all demographics except older, middle-class individuals. It should reallocate funds within the system. Ultimately, the United States will be led by a group of people who lack intellectual capacity. When they start disrupting processes in an effort to boost GDP with a workforce unwilling to do physical labor, inflation will skyrocket. When job losses occur, there will be a natural tendency to blame others. Rising prices and job losses may also exacerbate societal differences, with a tendency to blame others for larger economic problems. Asians ought to be concerned. The Chinese will be perceived as the origin of all kinds of issues due to China's intellectual property theft and low labor costs. If China can reduce its financial obligations and create linkages with the European market as the US withdraws, it may rise to the status of the world's leading power. In conclusion, a Trump presidency is expected to bring about significant changes both domestically and internationally. The emphasis on deregulation, mass deportations, and economic nationalism may present both benefits and serious challenges. Billionaires and companies may profit from an economic slump by purchasing discounted assets, while middle and lower income Americans endure the brunt of the consequences. Housing prices, for example, may collapse, complicating intergenerational asset transfers. If you're an investor, you should be aware that the redistribution of wealth and power during times of crisis frequently favors the prepared. In an era of such potential upheaval, both domestically and internationally, critical thinking, adaptability, and awareness will be vital tools for navigating the coming changes.